Everybody, welcome back to the Common Woman Podcast. Oh, darn it.
Oh,
I forgot.
You forgot what?
The claps. Hey.
Boo.
Hey. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
I mean, it's loud once we clap on the mic.
Nice.
That's why.
I thought we did a good job with that.
That was good.
It's better than your app.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't have worked anyway.
You got to just start playing it on the mic. It's loud.
That's a good idea. I should do that.
So I listen to music in here.
That's true. So we're back with episode 11. Yeah.
Yay.
I'm so excited. We're in the double digits and just keeping it going. I hope you guys are enjoying the Common Woman Podcast so far. Thanks for all the feedback and the comments and the emails.
We got some stories today.
We sure do.
I'm excited.
So last episode we were talking about jealousy. So we're going to continue to talk about jealousy, but in terms of insecurity and
trusting your intuition.
Thank you, girl, because I was like, what? I don't remember. It left me that quick.
That's the one thing that stayed with me. See, we're meant to be, me and
you. You complete me.
The yin to the yang.
Oh, man. So I am your host, Cortnie. I'm joined by my lovely, lovely bestie with her shoulders out.
Oh, Melissa. I've been with my shoulders out a couple times now.
Yeah.
That's the look for the summer, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I really like that shirt.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And we are also joined by the undisputed, amazing Babe himself. Who has such a following. Everyone loves Babe.
It's my peoples.
Shout out to the Babe crew.
Yeah.
What would you call that? Because what Beyonce has the Beehive and Nicki Minaj has the Barbs. What would the Babe crew be called?
Babe-inators.
I actually like that.
I don't know.
We should put out a post and ask, what would you call yourselves? The Babe-inators. That's so funny. Oh, man. So before we get started, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to some of our listeners, specifically Marty McFlyGuy on Twitter.
Okay.
I just wanted to shout you out because we really appreciate the fact that, first of all, you followed us on Twitter because we have like 2 followers.
That's me and him.
Exactly.
But it's so good.
Yeah. And you also got us put into Podcast Addicts, which is something I didn't even know about. So that's
if
like
you didn't know, I didn't know. I don't know. We iPhone users over here. I don't know.
Yeah, word. So I appreciate you representing for the Android crew.
All right, Marty.
Putting us into the Podcast Addicts. Yeah. And also, it's Father's Day weekend. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully we got some male listenership going on. So if you're a father, happy Father's Day. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. And a special happy Father's Day to Babe.
Hey.
You're a wonderful, wonderful father and a husband. And Inai and I are so blessed to have you. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. We're trying to spoil you a little bit. So
Shout out is all you get. Enjoy it.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let it fool you, y'all.
you know, I tried to be all nice, and he just got to stomp all over it. Stomping on my
Stomp on
butterflies.
your
Like,
butterflies, yo.
The 2 of y'all are butterfly stompers.
All day.
Whatever. So before we get started again, I just wanted to read this quote from
You love this. Just say your Instagram quote.
Yeah, it's an Instagram quote because we really don't know if Denzel Washington actually said this.
I doubt it.
But it says, right?
It says,
some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons. So that's why people are jealous, because your spirit irritates their demons, clearly. I mean, that's what it is. So, yeah. What did we talk about? Last week we were talking about jealousy in terms of like social media and seeing other people's lives.
Yes. So now we just have some regular jealousy stories from some friends. I wrote down my favorite ones.
I can't wait to hear about these.
All right. So I'm telling you, with some of the stories I hear, I'm like, did your man have a mental illness?
Oh, damn.
Because
It was that bad.
it's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. So I have a friend who went with her man to his best friend's house for a barbecue. He did a barbecue for them. And she said that after the barbecue, she decided to help clean up and do some dishes. There was a lot. And during that time, her man comes over and throws a fit. Why are you doing dishes? You don't even like to do dishes at home.
Oh.
Yes. And like yelling at her in front of people. So she's like, no, okay.
This ain't happening.
Yeah, grabbed her keys and was like, thank God I had my own personal car. Grabbed her keys and left.
Oh my God.
And as she's leaving, she said she's leaving. This is a house. So she's leaving the back. And she's like, it's so dark and creepy. And she turns around. And her man is standing there piercing at her between two bushes. I might have had a heart attack right then and there.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he spazzed out. We still don't know where that came from and why. That's why I said he probably had something.
I probably missed this part of the story, but was it a girl that they were friends with?
A guy.
It was a guy. Okay.
So he was jealous of his best friend around her. I guess.
Because she don't wash the dishes for him at home.
No, but I think she did. She just probably hated it.
But
she did it there.
Eager to do it
Yeah,
there.
she's like,
I guess so. For him.
Like, why are you smiling? Why
Why
you
you so
like,
eager?
What's that about?
You know what I'm saying?
But guy,
There's only like 2 plates. Damn.
he must have been so insecure with her.
Yeah. That's
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I don't know if she was just a different caliber for him. Because I feel like when you deal with something outside of your comfort zone, you're on edge.
It's like any little thing that happens, it's like, wait a minute. What's going on?
No, so I have another story with that same relationship. Excuse me. So, ladies, you know when we wear mascara after hours, like, you know, some of the black will get under your eye or it'll cause like an eyelash to fall down, like, you know, natural stuff.
Oh, I'm scared of this story.
Well, she came home and I guess, I don't know if it was an eyelash had fallen down or, you know, just some of the black specks. And he was convinced that she was making out with someone.
Wait.
Because I don't know what the fuck one has to do with the other.
That was a serious session. Damn.
Make out session are you doing that your eyelashes fall down?
Apparently, you're making out so much that your eyes
aggressive.
sweat and then the makeup bleeds
That's
down.
what it was. It was a crazy session, yo.
Super aggressive making out.
Yeah, so she's like, no, guy, this is makeup. And like she even like touched it and moved and he still was like, no.
Wow.
See, what she should
You were
have done
making
was
out.
invest in that stuff that doesn't come off unless you like put
Oh,
alcohol on
the
it.
waterproof mascara.
Yeah, she would have been alright.
Yeah.
You better buy it. That's more expensive.
You know what? He would
Don't
have
complain about my cheap shit.
Then he would have been like, I know for sure you were making out because that's
that
that waterproof mascara.
jab, yo.
So you must have been really
Hell
aggressive
yeah.
with it.
I mean,
Wow. But you know what? I wonder sometimes when dudes are super jealous like that, or females, that they just feel guilty about what they're doing. Because I feel like that's a part of jealousy sometimes. Like you get like super on edge and think that
I feel
they're
like
doing the same thing you were doing.
it could go either way.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be that, but I feel like it could be just someone who's so insecure that doesn't feel like they're good enough for this person for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so if you're not good enough for this person, you think everyone else is. Like you think they can't really want to be with me. And so you're paranoid.
Yeah. That's a crazy space to be in.
Yeah. So I found out that he had been cheated on in every relationship. And I can relate to that because I've been cheated on in several relationships, but that just goes to show that he hasn't worked through any of that. You have to work through that because if not, you carry it. And that's the perfect example. He's carrying it. And if you're acting out like that, who wants to be with you? Nobody wants that.
Crazy.
I don't want that smoke. I'm not trying to get yelled at because my makeup smeared, guy.
You gotta be on point, yo.
Yeah, apparently. God.
That's a good point, though, because I remember there's someone who told me that they got cheated on, and they felt like, oh my God, was I not enough? And it was a man, and I was just like, oh my God, that's so heartbreaking.
You go through that.
Hear.
No, you absolutely feel like that. It's always what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Instead of really thinking about, well, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Because clearly this is your issue.
Right.
This ain't on me.
Mm-hmm.
But we never go to that space.
Right.
It's always what is wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always say, like, you have to focus on changing that narrative, because it's not about you.
Yep.
If it was about you, you would have been doing the cheating, and it would have been something you needed to really hoe in on.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay.
Wait, is that not the word?
No.
Hone.
Hone. Wait, what did I say? Hoe in instead of hone.
I mean, it kind of relates. Hoeing.
Freudian slip.
I'm so mad at y'all. I know the word too, and I still.
I know you know it.
fuck that
That's why I'm messing with you.
See, it wasn't me this time.
Damn.
Sorry, I couldn't let that one go.
She got me last week too. She been coming for me lately.
If I didn't get you, somebody else would have came for you.
Off the
Would have sent you a
side,
DM. Mel, it's Hone.
They wouldn't have sent any DMs. They probably would have talked shit about my back, but nobody would have sent me a DM. Whatever, hoes. It goes anyway.
It does. It really relates. But yeah, that's what jealousy is, though. It's being insecure. It's, not getting over what you've been through, bad experiences. Could be guilt. Could be a bunch of stuff.
So this same person told me another story, but this is
with
a different ex. But I just thought this was such a funny story that I wanted to share it. So the lesson in this story is, don't date a gentleman who works in a phone store who buys you a phone. Don't trust it.
Oh boy,
give it back. So apparently, she was dating a dude who worked wherever, like let's say Verizon. And so he went and he gave her a phone. So she's like, cool, a phone. I take it. So apparently, but she didn't know was that when he was with her, he would switch the SIM card.
What?
So he was able to take the SIM card and I guess put it in the store and read what messages she was sending out. Yeah.
Yo, that's high level stalking.
Yeah, no, that's a whole nother level. So
that's
I guess
super smart though.
Yeah. So I guess he started to see certain things and he couldn't hold it anymore. So he finally spazzed out on her once he had like 3 or 4 things on her and had to tell on himself.
Wait, did he write that down? Like, come on. That's crazy.
Oh no, when it bothers you, you don't have to write shit down. That shit's there.
You hold that.
It's just
you
there.
Hold that.
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably there every time you see the person.
Yep.
You want to text Michael, bitch? Who the fuck is Jeremy?
You know what I'm saying?
So how did that person like react when he brought that up? Like, how do you know this?
Yeah, it's a comment, it's a realize. But she finally put
like, wait a minute, you worked at a
two
phone store.
together. I think he eventually told on himself. He told on himself. He couldn't handle it. Wow.
That's nuts.
That's that Android phone.
That's it right there.
Android's got SIM cards, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they could do that with iPhone.
iPhones no.
He just got to snatch your iCloud or whatever, I guess, right? He needs the password.
Yeah, basically.
I was watching 90 Day Fiance.
Or if he cracks it, he jailbreaks it.
What do you mean?
Giving people ideas, babe.
What do you mean?
That's it. I can't say anything else.
What do you mean, though?
It's copyright infringement. I can't talk about it on the internet.
Oh.
I don't know the technical word for what it means.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was watching 90 Day Fiance and the guy was like, she locked me out of my phone. Or I don't know, she raised his phone. She had all of his passwords. And he was calling her and she was ignoring the calls. And next thing you know, his phone just reboots. And I think he's like, she erased my phone. You're a fucking idiot. You gave her the passwords to everything. Everything. He got locked out she was saying that she was going to cancel his flight. And he looked and he tried to check his emails to see if she was bluffing, and she changed the password to his emails. Like when she went so hard, she went so hard on him. And he was still like, are you coming?
Like, you locked me out my phone and my emails. How am I supposed to function now in life? Like, no, we're done. It's crazy.
Some people out here, I tell you.
It's nuts. But do you think that there is a healthy jealousy? Like, I kind of feel like there is in a way.
I think it's the jealousy you keep to your damn self.
Exactly. Exactly. We're human.
We're all going to feel some twinge of jealousy,
right,
no matter what. But I think that you cannot react on that jealousy.
As long as you don't let the other person see it. Unless you really have
some concrete something.
Right.
To back it up.
Right.
Keep the crazy at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the crazy at bay.
Exactly. Especially with friends. I feel like if you're jealous, like, just acknowledge it. Be like, yeah, I was feeling a little jealous, but that's a good thing. You know, you're doing your thing or whatever. Like, I felt a little jealous, but it's all good. Don't let them know, like, by your attitude and, like, being all weird and stuff like that, especially if it's not anything to do with you.
I had a girlfriend tell me that her friend was jealous of her having I think a second baby. And her life is, like, good. She's comfortable. And her friend was jealous that she was comfortably having a second baby and didn't show to the baby shower.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
I can't stand people like that. I really can't. It's like, come on. You're supposed to support. And that's a big deal. And you know I'm sore about that because I already told my story about what happened when I was pregnant. I'm sore about I'm real support, man. That's not cool.
They're still friends, so I'm sure they worked that out.
Oh, good. Good.
But
it's hard, though. I mean, we're only human. But just acknowledge it and move past it.
I had back to jealousy. I had an ex that was a little out there. So, to any of the guys that ever got a message on Instagram saying to stop liking or commenting on my post.
I remember that.
My bad. I didn't know. I found out about one, but I'm sure there was more.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was sliding in DMs.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm so embarrassed. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it happened. It was a while ago.
It is what it is.
Stop commenting, but still. No, but my bad. My bad. Yeah.
I'm sure they understand.
Probably not,
but
whatever.
It's crazy, though. Like, I remember when I dated this guy, he was really super jealous of, like, dumb stuff. Like, he didn't like me having any guy friends at all. And I'm just like, but how's that going to work out?
He's been cheating on, that's why.
I don't even know.
That's a definite. I can put money down on that.
But, like, I doubt it because we were, like, really young. So it's like, I feel like I was his first real girlfriend. So I don't know.
So you think, like, he loved you and just didn't understand the feelings and was paranoid?
I have no idea because I spoke to him after we broke up and he said he had the same issue with his current girlfriend. And he was like asking me, he's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. He's
he
like,
probably
I
has
just
insecurities
can't.
through his parents.
Probably.
Yeah.
He was the only child.
How was his parents' relationship? There's a lot that goes into all of that.
Yeah, I think there was a cultural thing because his parents were from somewhere else. But yeah, I think that played into it.
Yeah.
But it was messed up though because I was mad because I had mad guy friends and I lost all of them because of him. I mean, because of me because I made the decision to cut them all off. But like,
I get it.
Yeah.
I did that. I changed my whole number for a guy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was happy I did it though.
You needed to cut some of them off.
Girl, I had a handful that were just lingerers. They gone now.
Bye bye.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, it's hard. And then it's also hard too sometimes to be happy, like in front of other people. Like sometimes you feel like you gotta edit yourself a little bit because you don't want anyone to feel a type of way. I've heard people say that, like that they're happy in their marriage and they don't want to really talk about it in front of other people because everyone is miserable with their relationships or their marriage or whatever. So they kind of just like play it down.
I get that though, because I feel like there's certain things that I'm doing or certain things that I'm thinking about that I don't necessarily want to share with people because I feel like people put very negative energy towards you and what you're doing. And you don't even know. People could be, there's just so much
wishing for you to fail.
Yeah. And I don't want that on me. So I just won't speak on things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that too, because sometimes I get like influenced by that. I'm not even going to lie. Like if I share something, like I usually am really excited about what other people are doing, especially if they're moving forward with what their dreams or whatever. So I kind of expect for other people to do the same for me. So if I bring that to somebody and they don't give me that same energy, then it kind of affects me negatively.
No, it does with me too. I'm ready to cut you off for life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm ready to cut you off for life because if you're not reciprocating the same love that I'm giving to you, then get out of my space.
Yeah.
Why are you hating?
Yeah.
Get out of my space.
And you know what? That energy is contagious. That negative energy is contagious. So I get from me, like you say. Get from me.
Okay.
And you know what's that around?
And this is so scary to say, but this is so real. People really deal with black magic.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things like that is like horrifying to me. But I know someone, I used to know someone that used to deal with that. I remember a story she told me. She said that she was dealing with a guy. This was someone that she used to be with, that they were together. They had broken up. And now they're kind of back in each other's lives. However, he has a girlfriend. So she's jealous of this situation. So she went to the
bruja.
The bruja.
De bruja. De bruja. Sí, papi, de bruja. He put the extra Spanish on it.
So she went and she was like that she wanted to break them up. So she brought whatever the lady told her to bring.
The mal de ojo. That's what that is right there.
It's madness. So she brings whatever it is. And the lady's like, all right, well, they're going to be together this weekend. They're going to be fighting. Play your position correctly.
Oh my God.
So they really were fighting. But this girl wasn't playing her play.
She got reckless with it?
Yeah, she was a mess. So, but she looked like she got a little scared because I was like, you realize you are now bringing on this to you.
Yep.
Like, this is going to come back to you.
The deal you just made.
So, I want you to really understand what you just did. She was like, what do you mean? No, what do you mean?
She really didn't know?
She fronted like that bitch knew. But she was fronting like she didn't know. But I was just like, you're going to get yours.
I don't understand why people think that way. That, like, you can just do something crazy and that mess ain't going to come back to you. Like, if you get a man in a crazy way, like, you don't think that he's going to lose you in a crazy way? That
I know for her, it's an insecurity and a maturity thing. Yeah. She's very immature. She's very immature and very insecure.
Well,
very insecure, yeah.
That's nuts. Yo, I'm mad that we're like halfway into this podcast and I'm already done with my drink. I kind of was halfway done before we started.
Because before it even started, you were gulping it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like water or something.
When the podcast first started, I almost choked on a strawberry. You could probably see it on the camera. I was like, ooh.
You try to play it off the
last. I didn't even notice.
I try to strain them all out.
YouTube will probably see it. I was like, ooh, wait.
Maybe we should just stick to wine.
It's a delightful drink, though.
Man, it is delicious. Babe with the mixology over here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought.
So I dated someone while I was very insecure. This was like years ago, and I really liked him, and I didn't know he wasn't. He would give me, but he wouldn't really give me enough. So like I turned a little crazy. Like, he would take a long time to text me. And that drives me crazy. Yeah. So then I would go on Instagram and look at the likes. And he would like something. It like shortly after my text went through and text me back hours later. And it would drive me.
So you was clearly looking at your phone, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, why you like that? And you didn't text me back.
And this was a fight. And I don't even...
Did you have an excuse? I was looking on my computer. I wasn't on my phone.
It could have been. He could have been.
I don't even remember what he said, but it was just it something that happened repeatedly. I feel so stupid because I wish I told him where to go and how to get there so many times. But I was just so into him and I was so insecure at the time.
You gotta remind me of who that is off the mic.
Will do.
That story sounds familiar, but I can't remember which one it was. Yeah.
Will do.
But let me throw out a scenario. You already know this story. I want to know if people agree with me or agree with Babe. So it kind of fits in with like jealousy.
I
But
feel like me and him are always on the same wavelength. But
this is
we're
the
gonna
beach
see.
one, the beach situation.
I don't remember.
So a while ago, we wanted to go to the beach, you, me, and the girls. And he was like, "Well, how are you gonna go to the beach and you won't let me go to Cuba? Was it Cuba or was it?
No, I think it was like DR or something.
You were so extra in that scenario, by the way.
Thank you.
No,
you
it was
compared.
just an example.
Okay, wait.
No, because you cannot compare a beach day to a vacation.
Away in a
different country for
that
days.
is known for having like the most beautiful women in the world.
That aside, you're comparing a trip that
it's not the trip.
Her being at the beach for like 5 hours compared to you on a 5-hour flight for 5 days.
And a family
You're
beach,
bugging.
no less. A family beach with a bunch of old people.
You were bugging for that.
Who's to say that the beach that we would have went to wasn't crazy? That doesn't mean that it's not like that over there. Come on.
Yeah, but see, if it had been equal scenarios, if you and your boy wanted to go to the beach, I would have had no problem. But you wanted to go to like Brazil or something like that.
No, it was super extra. You were extra as hell with that.
I was like,
when
bro.
she told me on the beach, I was like, Chris is being stupid. That don't even make sense. Damn it, I said your name. Sorry. Babe is being, I know.
They heard it. I said it before anyway.
I know you have. That's why I don't feel as bad, but still, I suck for that.
But
My
you gotta
bad.
tell the story though.
So we actually like got into a big huge fight about it because he was making this big huge
you
thing.
didn't want me to go.
I never said you can't go. I just said I wouldn't be comfortable with you going there. I said you
That's
could go
the
to
same
Cuba.
thing as saying, I don't want
The
you to
fact
go.
that
I
you
said you could
compared
go
it
to
to a
Cuba,
beach
though.
day.
Cuba
I can't
is.
even
I was
say
like,
that.
y'all could go
So
to Cuba.
you're saying Cuba doesn't have pretty chicks?
I'm just saying it's not known for being the country that has the most beautiful women in the world. I'm sure there's beautiful women there, but like that particular country is like known for like that stuff. So I just felt a little insecure. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I'm not saying I'm right in what I was thinking about you going to that country. It shouldn't matter what country you go to. I trust you. Whatever. You should be able to go wherever you want.
If you go
I just felt uncomfortable.
to another country, she's going to another country. You cannot go to another country because
I
she
won't
went
have
to
a
the
problem
beach.
with that, though.
In context.
She went to the beach.
Context. This was right after I had my baby. So I wasn't feeling beautiful. I was feeling, all crazy. I just had a baby. I wasn't feeling sexy. And you gonna go to a beach in a whole nother country with your boy who is single by yourself. I do trust you, but
so
like,
what's up with that?
I'm thinking in my head, like I'm thinking about myself. I'm not thinking about you. So I'm feeling a way about it. It's not even you. It's me. I'm thinking about like how bad I feel about myself, and like he's gonna go over there and see all these gorgeous women with snatched stomachs when my belly is like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So like I felt a way. Any other time, like now, I probably wouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
so
I'm in a different
that
space.
I could go to DR with my boy now?
Nah. So
if she could go to Jamaica with her girls.
yeah.
I never told her she couldn't go out.
So the weird thing is,
That's the thing.
I
had an
just
issue
can't
with
believe
me
you
going
compared it to the beach.
You
compared it to the beach.
Just the that part, not the whole vacation. It was just one beach to another beach.
Nah, it's not though. It's
One
a car
beach
ride
to
and
a
a
whole
plane ride. It's a
thing.
car ride and a plane ride.
Word.
It's
Word.
hours and
It's
days.
the same thing.
It's not at all.
I want to know what other people think because
Not
I
at all.
put a poll out.
You could do the same thing in 5 hours that you could do in 5 days.
You could, but
fine.
who's going to the beach? Who's
You're
going
so
to the
extra.
beach on
You're
Long
such a
Island?
man right now. It's crazy and it's pissing me off. I can't handle conversations like this with men. I can't.
He just wanted me to feel bad, so I'd be like, "Fine, babe, you could go to Brazil."
You can't
It
go.
wasn't Brazil,
You
it was
can't
DR.
go.
No, it
How
wasn't
about
even
that?
DR. It wasn't
No.
even
I don't
DR.
know
It
what
was
it
a
was.
country in South America that I just felt super. Colombia.
Oh,
That's what it was.
I
that's
thought it was
Colombia.
Cuba. I did
No,
think
I
it was
wanted-
Cuba.
Cuba was a place that they wanted to go, but I
Yeah.
didn't have a problem with them going there.
Because she figured they're just ugly old people. Yeah.
Isn't
No,
Colombia the
that's not
capital of
true.
plastic surgery?
Yes.
No, it's Brazil.
I think it's
No,
Colombia.
Colombia?
I
thought
think
Brazil
it's
was known for
Colombia.
that stuff.
I think they both are.
I heard from someone who is Colombian who actually went over there for that purpose. That that's what they do. A lot of women get that done over there. So. Yeah, so I would love to hear what people think in that. Actually, I did post on social media because we had to talk about it. And I was like, I'm going to post this on social media.
Yeah,
like,
what
you
happened?
Go ahead and
what
you
happened?
post it. And everybody agreed with Chris.
Thank you.
Babe.
I feel like they didn't understand.
Yeah, I didn't give enough context.
Nah, you give just enough.
Nah, your vacation doesn't match the beach.
Right. That was my point. That was my point, that the situations didn't match. What you were saying about it shouldn't matter, that I should trust you.
That's right.
That I agree with.
That was my whole point. It wasn't about...
Yeah, but you used the wrong scenario.
Whether it was here or there, it doesn't matter.
You should have used the same beach.
You said, I trust you, babe.
I do trust you.
But you was like, but nah, you can't go.
I just didn't feel comfortable with you leaving me with my newborn child
I feel like
to go to a beautiful country.
Nah, I didn't throw a tantrum.
I know he did. I remember because I was on the beach like, no, don't let him get away with this, Cortnie.
He's like, well, you can go. You go. I was like, I'm out.
All right, I never
had
a problem.
Well, I'm not staying home. I'm taking Inaya somewhere.
We're going to go hang.
I was like, fine. And then you took her somewhere like I'd never been with her. Mad spiteful.
She was so
mad petty.
Mad about that. She was like, he took her to the beach and I've never been to the beach with her. And I was just like,
that was her first time ever.
I was like, this keeps taking lefts and lefts and lefts.
Marriage, y'all.
Yep.
That's funny.
So yeah, that was partly a jealousy story, an insecurity story, because I definitely was insecure. I am insecure. I'm not even gonna front like I'm not. But how do you...
Insecurities are normal.
They are.
I think it's just how you act on them. That's
how you act and how insecure you are. Because you remember, I mean, I don't want to like make it obvious who the person was, but there was somebody we both know that like is super insecure and like every little thing like would be like, really? You think so? And like you would give them compliments and they would just be like, for real? Like it's like they don't believe anything that you say, like no matter what. Like you could say they're the most beautiful person in this earth and they'll be like, no, I don't think so. I'll tell you later who it was.
You seem I'm baffled.
Looking for validation.
Like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, man.
I wonder if it's the same Bruja person.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if they listen, so I don't want to say it.
No, don't say it. Definitely don't say it.
Yeah, man. You can't look for validation in other people because that is gonna trip you up. Like you gotta learn how to validate yourself. And that was something I learned a few years ago and I didn't really understand what that meant. Like, what do you mean validate yourself?
Oh no, people are gonna play you all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't,
If you hang on for like that validation from somebody to tell you that you're beautiful, to tell you you're a great person or you're doing this right, if that person doesn't give it to you, then what? What if you really are doing it right and they don't give it to you just because they're jealous themselves?
Yeah.
Or they're feeling insecure about themselves. You know, you can't hang on to that. You got to learn how to like tell yourself, look, I'm dope in real life. Y'all heard Sin Santana's new song?
No.
Oh, that's what it's called. I'm dope in real life. I like it. Anyway, yeah. So
as soon as you start bopping, I'll start bopping. I don't know what it is.
Wrong with it.
Ride or die. Dancing. It's so funny because in the office, you do that all the time. You
I do it dancing. Sometimes. I'll randomly start dancing, but Cortnie will always catch on to the beat in my head.
Jump in the spot.
Always.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. You got more stories for us?
I think we should jump into intuition.
Yes.
Because my next stories are about situations with your intuition. So I have a girlfriend who dated this guy and she bagged him twice going on vacation. So first trip, he said that he was going to visit his grandmother in
that's the problem.
North Carolina or somewhere.
That line is like so damn used.
Really?
What?
I don't know. People don't visit their grandma. Can I not trust that?
No.
It's like as soon as they say grandma, I'll be like, no,
Don't
fuck
do
that.
that.
FaceTime
That's
her.
it.
FaceTime grandma
FaceTime
right
me when
now.
you're there without wearing
Let
like,
her
yo.
tell
Put her
me.
on right now.
That's horrible. I don't want to live in this world anymore like this. I was mad close to my grandma. I don't like this. If you're going to say you with her, be with her, damn it.
Yeah, you know?
So she didn't feel right. Like she felt something.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't pinpoint it. So one day they're in the house and I don't know if he went to the store or just left the room or something, but his luggage was there. So her intuition led her to the luggage.
Oh,
And
she found them tickets.
What she found was a receipt from an ATM in DR.
Oh, you see, this is where it comes from.
See?
So moral of the story is, babe, you ain't going to no mother effing DR.
Yes, I've heard way too many stories about dudes going to DR and doing
Damn,
some
babe. It's me. It's babe.
Nah,
So.
scratch that. So
I don't trust these hoes. I told y'all last episode.
you know,
Damn.
you had me pop in my mouth.
Oh, I heard
Hey,
You know, we trust you until you've had too much to drink and some loosey goosey.
Nah.
I don't think there's a such thing as too much to drink for him.
Nah.
He's kind of like scary with
Nah.
that. He has,
I have a nice tolerance.
yeah.
I
his
was at the gym
tolerance.
today. And these women were just talking about all the stories coming out of DR right now.
It's nuts.
It is.
Yo, people are dying over there.
But-
Left and right.
Yeah.
Or they're making it seem like there's a lot of people dying.
I was just going to say that a part of me, you know, the conspiracy
Conspiracy.
theory wheels start turning in my head. And I'm like, is this really all of that? Or are we just really trying to sabotage this country's tourism right now? And for what reason?
So they can go in and take over.
I mean,
And get rid of all the Dominicans. Yeah.
Nah, there's a lot of Dominicans. You get
That's what they want to do. Like they're doing in Puerto Rico.
I'm going to say I popped the shit out my mouth. Sorry.
Yo.
I don't even know how, where, and how.
Sound like you had gun.
I'm not
there,
going to say that's far-fetched. Yeah, no, totally. Damn, Courtney.
Wow, taking it down.
The wheels
I'm telling you,
the
that was
wheels
good.
are turning in my head. I know, and I want to sip it more, but I feel like the ice keeps popping on the mic, so I keep trying to drink it all the way out here.
As you can see, she doesn't.
But-
care.
Yeah,
She's
I'm all over here like
clink,
slurping.
clink, clink.
No, but in case you wanted to know what we're drinking, it's a Kentucky Buck. It has strawberries.
I didn't know what's
Bourbon.
it
Say that
called?
last
A
part.
Kentucky buck?
Kentucky Buck. Why? What?
Buck?
It didn't sound like that.
Wait, what it sounded like?
Replace the B with an F.
Oh, I heard buck. All right, go ahead. What's a Kentucky buck?
Babe, did I miss anything? It's got bourbon, lemon, strawberries,
Simple syrup and Angostura bitters.
Angostura bitters.
And love. It's delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah, but my bad. You were saying?
I don't know what the hell I was saying. Back to the story. So anyway, they dealt with that in their relationship. So we took him back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all right. We took him back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the bullshit he said, but we took him back, and now we at round 2. So, so now we had an incident where he claimed his daughter was sick.
Oh no, he
yo,
used
you're
a
gonna
child.
use the kid, man.
I feel like there's a special rung in hell for
Yeah,
people who
you
use their
got-
children.
No,
for
he's
some,
a whole piece of shit.
Yeah, but you don't never use your kid
for some foolery.
Yeah, so he claimed his child was sick and in the hospital.
In the
Oh.
hospital too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's no good.
Yeah, he took it there. So the child
An
was
inpatient
sick.
stay.
It was an inpatient stay.
Really? Wow.
Deacon.
Yo.
So he constantly claimed that the reception was bad, and so she was never able to make contact with him the entire time he was calling her.
Yo, because that hospital Wi-Fi is no joke, yo.
Oh my god.
You gotta
Apparently.
turn it off because the cardio unit, man.
You would say that. So, anyway, obviously, we don't trust this man.
Yes.
He has lied already. So, it didn't sit well.
Mm-hmm. So, she had a feeling about that
Yes,
story.
of course. And so, once again, he has left the house.
For an extended period of time.
I don't know where he went. Maybe he went to the corner store, but us females act fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So she looked around and found the passport with a stamp that this gentleman went to Amsterdam.
Maybe they had a special hospital in Amsterdam.
Yeah, they got a children's hospital out there,
Yo.
Amsterdam.
He left the whole fucking country.
He
Again.
went like
and he
across
went to
the
Amsterdam,
world,
a
yo.
place where like prostitution is legal.
Everything is legal.
Yo,
Drugs are
you
legal, right?
know certain things that why do you know
Girl,
that?
basketball.
Like,
Girl,
wait,
basketball
I didn't
wives.
know that.
Basketball
You see?
wives. That's the only reason why I know that.
Why did they
They
bring
went
that
to
up?
Amsterdam because Shawnee was trying to find out more information about opening a dispensary for weed. So she wanted to go over there and see what they had, and like they were like going to the prostitution. You know, they have girls in
red
the
light
windows,
district.
and I think you told me about that too.
Damn.
Yeah,
That shit
but-
is crazy.
Oh my god,
That
I don't know
shit is
how we
crazy.
got there. Oh, we were talking about intuition.
Yes.
Your sister-in-law, Christina, she DM'd us
Yes.
about she had a feeling that something was going on with her ex-boyfriend. Well, her boyfriend at the time. So it was back in the day, so she used MySpace to stalk him.
Damn.
So she created a fake profile and was like talking with dude. And she was right because he ended up sending her peen pics and trying to set up dates to like hook up and
These
everything.
guys ain't got no chill.
Yo, but the funny thing is she approached dude about it. And he tried to say, I knew it was you the whole time.
That was nice.
I bet you did.
Boy, bye. Boy,
Nah, I
bye.
knew it was you, yo. Come on, man.
I knew it was you the whole time. You know, I was
Yeah.
gonna just make a, secret rendezvous or whatever.
Mhm.
Nah, come on, bro. Get out of here.
When
So,
you know. You know
you
what's
do.
funny is I feel like I used to, in my heydays, I love saying that.
Heydays.
In my heydays. I
Yesterday,
used to.
today. What do
Fuck-
you mean?
Damn, Courtney.
See,
I'm talking
see?
like in my early 20s, biatch. Early 20s.
I'm just trying to say you still got it, but
20s to
you still
when,
got
though?
I don't appreciate you. I want to say it stopped at 24. It stopped at 24. It did. Stupid. Stop making me argue with you. I don't want to hear nobody telling me about our fights. But
It's just jokes, people.
what was I saying? I hate you. You know how my memory works?
You were saying back
So
in the
I
heyday.
used to need concrete proof to move on,
Yeah.
as opposed to just knowing shit isn't right and it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have an ex that always, oh God, I hate this kid. He always told me he was sleeping. No matter what. He was fucking sleeping.
Was he narcoleptic and shit?
Yo.
You need to go see a doctor, bro.
You know what
What's
I'm
going on?
Get some pills for that, bro.
He was always sleeping. So I already would anticipate the sleep. so if I would call him for a certain amount of time in a day and I wasn't getting a response, I would do drive-bys. I had a car back then. So I would do drive-bys and see that his car's not in the neighborhood. And then it'd just be a whole big ass fight. Because he's going to hit me with the he's sleeping. And I was like, you weren't sleeping shit. Your car was in the
It was up the block.
This is how crazy this particular relationship made me.
Wow.
That is
I
the
was-
worst feeling.
It really was. It really was. And then, of course, when it finally comes to light that he obviously was cheating, I don't know how it felt like I didn't know it was coming.
What?
I was so sad. I was so sad. But clearly I knew it was coming. I was young. I wasn't prepared. It was too much.
Yeah.
It was too much. But now I feel like when I feel something, I'm like, nah,
It's over.
I'm not really fucking with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes.
But the
you do
wall
need
is
to,
different when you're older. Your wall is built differently.
Yeah.
You know, you don't let everyone just climb over that shit.
They gotta take a
work.
sledgehammer.
It takes work.
Knock some bricks down.
You know, I don't want to say it's that difficult, but I don't think I'm that guarded. Yeah, but you know, you have to put in that work because a lot of people, I don't know.
But you know what? I feel like that's how it should be. I feel like
100%.
sometimes we give too much of ourselves in the beginning before we get to know who these people are.
Exactly.
You know, and if they're worthy of our trust and you know, letting them in. But that's a good point that you have to really just like kind of check it with reality. Your
the
like
ice keeps
jealousy. I like that sound though. I don't know. I like it.
If I was listening, I'd be pissed. I want to fucking drink. It's like 8 a.m. I'm going to work.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the people who listen to us on the way to work. Hope you're having a pleasant drive and not too much traffic.
Check that road rage. Oh,
girl.
Let's not go there again. We do that all the time.
We have a whole podcast about road rage. Yeah, but you got to check that jealousy with reality too, because sometimes we get caught up in a jealous fit and it's really just us. Like we're really just.
No, yeah, I've had unrealistic jealousy.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God. What?
I just remembered.
What?
Yo, stay out of people's computers and stuff.
Word.
Especially if you're with somebody that you trust and you know that they're not up to some foolery, right? So you know what story I'm going to tell right? So one day, Babe went out with his boy and I was on his computer. I wasn't even trying to look for anything. Somehow I ended up in his email. I don't know how I ended up there. I swear I did not type it in. I think he had it hooked up so that if you click a certain button, it pops up.
I don't have it locked.
So I saw one of the first emails was from this like dating website for married men who want like a chia or like a side piece.
Yeah.
Is that they wanted a chia?
No, she to do that.
Yeah. Oh, you do that? No, I was like, wait a minute.
Because my husband's Puerto Rican, so I'd be saying Spanish words
like
I'm Spanish.
I was thrown because I was like, is this targeted at the Spanish community? What kind of page is this? Chia. Okay.
Like if you married and you want a side piece. They actually, what is it? Ashley Madison.
It's not in existence anymore.
Oh, they took it down?
Yeah, because what they found out was that all these guys that were calling or thinking they were talking to actual people, they were bots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for y'all stupid asses.
Yeah, so
it was on the news.
Get hot off a bot.
I mean, some people do though.
Some people are into that.
Some people are into that.
Yeah.
No, but I was
world.
I freaked out. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait. Was it like an opened email or something he had looked at and left there?
It was like a new email.
Did you look at it?
No, it was a new email.
I marked it on red after
Did you look at
it? Put it in a special folder. Flagged it important.
Never delete.
Can you imagine?
So it was on red.
I called my friend at the time, freaking out. I'm like, okay, like I know this is not the case, but I'm panicking.
I get weird ass emails too.
He is married. Like, so what if he was looking into it to see if he can get a side piece?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When he came home.
No, you texted me though.
I texted you?
You texted me, yeah.
No.
Yes.
I think I waited till you got home.
That's the blind rage.
I waited till you got home.
What was the text?
No, you texted me.
No, but he was laughing.
You text what? You text what?
I don't remember, babe.
What I know you
Why
remember.
Are you looking at? I was like,
See,
babe.
that's the impression of me.
What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna. It sounds. I'm sorry.
I don't sound like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
When you get caught up, you start.
Yeah, that's when you know.
Sorry.
That's when you know.
I talk like this. You know what I mean? Like I got a low voice or whatever.
But yeah, I was like, babe, really?
Yo,
you got on an open
laughing.
email that I never lock. I didn't look at it.
First of all,
that's so amateur.
He is one of the most tech savvy people.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, okay, if he really was, like, he would not leave that in his inbox open for the world to see.
You see, ladies, that's one of those crazy moments you got to just keep to yourself.
Reel it in.
Reel it in.
Nah,
he didn't know. If it wasn't opened, then it was just a spam email.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was in my open email. I don't even lock the email.
I just needed for some reason to hear you say it because I knew
I would have just deleted it.
That I needed, like, and it wasn't true.
I just would have deleted it.
And then
I ain't gonna lie, I would have kept scrolling to make sure, does this motherfucker have open one of this?
And he kept there or replied.
That's
Can you
there?
imagine? Replied to this on Thursday.
Oh shit!
I was like,
You
what
can't
if
reply
he's
to
really-
those.
I'm like, and he stays up way later than I do. So I was like, yo, what if he's like
She
on
had
Ashley
you in a
Madison?
You know what I'm
whole
saying?
situation.
She had me like in a
looking
dark
at
chat
these
room
women,
and everything
talking
already.
to these women,
With
having
a
a whole
chia.
side
You know?
with a chia.
She brings him in. He brings him in through the back door downstairs. And everything.
It's crazy
Oh, you
what your
do have a
mind
back
will
I
door.
do.
do. Have a back
It is crazy, ladies, what
creepy
your
back there.
mind will take you to if you let it. Insecurity is a mother effer.
My mind goes somewhere all the time.
Yeah.
It's rough.
That's why we got to work on our confidence, because I believe that confidence and insecurity cannot coexist within the same space. So
Yeah.
we got to work on that confidence. I'm talking to myself right now because I have my
So
insecurities.
good. I'm listening.
Yeah.
And get a good game to distract you from the psycho. When I feel myself getting psycho, I'll be like, let me play this game.
Oh, that's why you play those games.
Oh wow! So
What? No, she sent me a game the other day.
you'd be like, that's why
No,
you
I
play
was
that all the time?
that was just boredom at work. It was one of those days I was like, I don't want to do this right
Yeah,
now.
I don't feel like
Let
working.
me send a game.
Let me do something productive.
Let's play pool.
Somebody put me onto that.
That's fun.
A
That's
guy
cool.
put me onto that. I didn't even know you could play games like that.
Me either.
Yeah, you could play all kinds of stuff on the phone.
It's a boy thing.
No, but
I
it was
think it's a
like
boy thing.
via text message. Like when it's your turn, you get a text
Mhm.
message and it will.
Or they have
you
one
go.
that's pool that you could, you live connect to other people,
Yeah.
and you take your turns and you see them shoot their shot, then you shoot yours.
Well,
Shoot your
I'm
shot.
bad at it, so I don't want to play with
Me
all
too, I
those
suck.
randos. Just play
Yeah.
with Cortnie. She's
They
just
play
as
for
bad
money
as I
too out
am.
there.
We both aiming blindly.
All the balls were on the table like the whole game.
I didn't even remember which one she got in. I was just like, let me just hit
Me
balls.
too.
I
I
don't
was
even
like,
know
I
who
don't
I have. Stripe, solid. I don't know. That's funny.
Oh God. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get through your insecurities and your jealousy, I feel like you got to recognize it. Like recognition is part of the initial phase of working through that. Because if you don't even recognize that you have an issue with being jealous, then there's no room for like any growth or like trying to fix it or work through it.
Well, you're not going to be able to decipher your intuition
Right.
with that jealousy.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to tell the
Exactly.
difference.
Yeah.
You have to be clear
Mm-hmm.
in order to know, you know what? This really genuinely doesn't feel right.
Right. Right.
Because a lot of times you approach the man and he's going to lie. He's going to flip it and make you feel like this is just you being jealous. This is all in your head. When in reality, you know what? It's not in my head. Your behavior is 100% telling on you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm insecure and I let you get in my head that I am
Yes.
being jealous, then I'm
Yes.
just going to fall back and really think that about the situation.
Yes.
And it completely ignore what I feel.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Like
Mhm.
you have to really get solid within yourself.
Yeah, people
and
will
knowing
lie.
your, like you said, your intuition. You have
Yeah.
to be solid with that, especially when you're dealing with a manipulative person or someone who is trying to play.
A lot of
foolery with
people
you.
are. A lot of
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah, and then we said again, check it with reality. Is it based on something that's real or imagined?
Exactly.
Because we be in our heads sometimes. Sorry, I forgot we were on the podcast. I do stupid stuff like that all the time.
You know, I got PTSD about that sleep fucking excuse. As soon as it do tell me to sleep, I that motherfucker.
No,
is
you
asleep. Heard
Delete
that.
his number.
Heard that before.
You know what I'm saying? Dad and grandma.
I gotta really will that in whenever somebody says, "All right, I'm gonna let him slide with this."
I mean, it
sleep."
is like 4 a.m. Maybe he is sleeping.
You know
You
what
know
I'm saying?
Yo.
Nah, but when they hit you with that shit like, "Hey, guy," I gotta chill for. I gotta really sit there and be like, "All right, maybe he was asleep. We're gonna chill."
Mhm.
But he got one more time to tell me he was asleep before it's a problem.
Oh man, you can't trust anything nowadays. You can't even trust that a dude is going to see his child in the hospital. Like that's crazy. Like how do you do that? I still
How do you
can't.
come for your child? How do you come for
You don't
grandma
need that,
too? Damn, yo, grandma.
You can't do
Come
that.
on.
That's
You
not
know, if
right.
it's grandma, like she ain't even gonna be around much longer. Like, that's
You know
usually
what
the
I'm
case
saying?
of all grandmas.
You already putting her
Chill.
in.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I feel like all that comes back to you when you lie on people like that. It comes back.
It does, because I'm sure he still want that. He still want my homegirl.
Mm-hmm.
And she is
Don't
unavailable
take him back,
for you,
girl.
loser.
Don't
Nah, she
take him
won't.
back.
She don't want nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Oh.
forgot to mention
Oh.
that the floating arm. Remember last episode we were talking
Yes,
about the dude
yes,
that was,
yes.
that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Jasmine told us, and Marty McFly guy told us.
I need a Keanu in my life.
Yeah, look it up. Every single picture, he's just like this. with
I
his
smart.
arms
love
straight
it.
out
I
like
love
this.
it.
That way they can't sue him.
He's
smart
the
dude.
best.
Yeah. Guys,
I ain't
take
taught
note.
you. What's
Take
up with
note.
you?
I hope that the men listening are learning things in this podcast.
You know, one of our guy
Not,
friends
not in
told
a
me
bad
that-
way, in a good way.
Yeah.
Don't use it against women.
Exactly.
You said what?
Yeah, one of our friends, one of our guy friends told us that that he's learning stuff about women from the podcast.
Well, I hope that's good.
Yeah, how to deal.
You're learning a lot about me and Cortnie. That's what you're learning.
For sure. Getting to know you.
You've been singing a lot lately,
Yeah,
and I'm
girl.
really here for it. But you've been singing a lot.
I'm happy, and I had a really nice drink. Speaking of getting to know you, we'd like to know more about you. So please DM us and tell us some stories that you'd like us to
She
share.
was so cute about that.
That was a nice segue.
That was so smooth.
Oh, you guys like that?
No, that was so smooth.
Yeah.
Like,
I just got sold. I was like, I'm gonna call now.
I appreciate that validation. See what I did?
I was bagged.
Word,
She
right?
bagged me. I was bagged. Oh, all right. You got that, man. You got that.
Oh, this is so much
Yeah, that's
fun.
stupid.
Oh, you know what? Somebody else told me that they listened to the podcast and they were surprised that I talk so much because I'm always so quiet everywhere, like at work.
You really aren't quiet.
I'm super quiet.
You
It's
just don't
funny.
talk to.
Certain people.
You said I'm really not quiet.
She's not. All right. You're quiet,
Mhm.
except to me and Jennifer. She gets the
But
talking.
you guys brought me out, you know. You brought me out because before I was hanging out with y'all, like I didn't really talk to anybody.
Yeah, Cortnie didn't talk to me.
Mm.
Cortnie didn't talk to me.
You kept trying though.
I did. Cortnie wasn't fucking with me. She needed me to tone it down.
I didn't know.
I
how to
was
handle
wilder
you.
than I was wild.
Mm.
I think I was wild. Yeah, I was
I love it,
loud.
though.
I was louder. I talked a lot, huh? I
No,
was a pain in the
you're
ass. I
fine.
don't know,
No,
but
you're
Cortnie wasn't
fine.
having it. Cortnie wasn't having it.
No, you've always been cool. You've
Then
always
one,
been cool.
then
I'm
one
just
day,
shy.
then one day. I don't remember. I don't know what day that was, but one
Yeah,
day.
no, what day was that? Was it the African Dance Day?
I don't know. You know, Cortnie
When
came
you
to
took
my
me to
28th.
Africa?
Cortnie came to my 28th birthday, and then left before the party even started.
Yo, I was so lame and awkward during that
Wow.
period of
You
time.
were.
That's because I was with my old lame friend. Oops. Did I say that?
Ooh.
Let me not do that.
Fire.
She wasn't lame.
Mm.
But
Too late. You said it.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Nah, but I was just like, I don't know. I was weird. I was super awkward. I get shy and stuff.
Mm.
But when you get in front of the mic, it's different. Like, don't you feel different when you're in the mic, on the mic?
No,
Oh,
this is me
It's
all
just
day.
you.
that's
All the
true. That
time.
is you all day.
This is me all the time.
But babe, you started to
Mm.
like, talk on the mic.
But
You weren't even supposed to really talk that much. He wasn't
loves
planning on
it.
talking,
Yeah.
but then he sat down
He
and was
loves
like,
it.
hey.
Yo.
And then now we can't shut him up.
I like
But
it.
I'm
And now-
comfortable talking anyway because I've always been in jobs that I have to talk to the public anyway. So,
And now you got the babinators.
yo,
Hey,
my peoples,
there it is.
mi gente.
Oh, Lord.
That was so Spanish.
I
Hi.
wish I could play that song right now.
We ain't trying to pay no fees.
You know what I'm saying?
We will not be. Go ahead, Corny, sing that. It's the best we could do.
Mi gente. That's all I know. I can't speak Spanish.
That was good, babe. That was good.
He be making fun of me because I imitate his Spanish. I'd be like, doo, 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 doo.
Yeah, now you got the baby doing that too.
She does.
Oh, shit.
That's terrible.
Are you teaching her Spanish?
Yeah, when I remember,
No.
I try.
He's
try.
not. No, he's not. I could tell.
Every
She
now
knows
and
how
then
to
he'll
say
say
fuego.
That's because of the song.
That's not even your doing. You should be ashamed.
She knows a little bit. He was doing it more before, but it's hard because I don't speak Spanish. So if you're not speaking Spanish in the household,
Yeah, but you should be speaking Spanish only to her,
That's
and
what the
Courtney
plan
only
was.
English. That's
Yeah,
what should be
you know
happening.
what it is? I try, but I forget to because I gotta like switch to English here.
see what
'Cause,
had
you
happened
know,
was.
She speaks English all the time. So.
Oh, so you're gonna blame it on me then?
No, I'm just saying that's how I default because at
Courtney
work.
don't need to know what you're talking about.
And plus, I can understand a lot of Spanish. I just don't speak it that well.
No, I'll try to
That
be more
well.
cognizant of it.
I mean, I
but-
have this Spanish accent when I
Mhm.
speak. I just
Do
don't
you?
really. I do.
Sí.
Sí, por favor. Americano. I'm so stupid. I really hope I'm not offending any of my
I
Spanish.
was told I have a Spanish
people.
accent. I don't hear it.
You're Spanish.
You have a Bronx accent.
That's what I hear all the time.
You have a Bronx accent.
I do. Whatever.
You said something. Every time you speak Spanish, it's so funny. I love it. You said something yesterday.
I'll be hicked out sometimes. I'm not gonna do it right now.
I forgot what it was you said, but it was hilarious.
She throws one in here now and
She
then.
be like, "Stop laughing at me."
She makes fun of me all the time.
I love
I don't know where this Courtney came from, but
Mhm.
send it back.
No refund policy over here.
Damn. You know I was ready today, right?
You were?
With my affirmation. I actually
I thought
looked
you
it
were
up
just
and everything.
searching for it just
No, I
now.
have it. I took a picture of it.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Came prepared to work today. Normally a failure.
We appreciate
It's okay.
you and all your efforts.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Oh, okay.
I think we are.
Which one was it now?
So much for that preparedness.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So the affirmation for the week is I let go of all self-doubts and begin to trust my inner self. I knew you were going to feel that.
I let go of all my doubts.
All my... Wait.
Ah, man.
And I was looking at it
And
real
you're
quick.
reading it
I
down.
still was like, wait, because I was going to add a word in. I let go of all self-doubts and begin to trust my inner self.
I let go of all self-doubts and begin to trust my inner self.
Yeah.
God, I needed that.
Yeah.
needed
I had
that.
to laugh because there was one that was I think it was like 3 affirmations in one. And Maya goes, Courtney's not gonna be able to say that.
Maya, you're right, Maya.
I was like,
she knows me.
I said, you're right. Let me find a
I'm gonna
shorter
tone it down.
version of it.
What?
Yeah. And
Do it one
she
more
was like,
time?
Courtney likes to repeat it. She's not gonna be able to do that. I was like, you're right. Let me find a shorter one.
No, that was perfect because
I
literally
know.
I struggle with self-doubt on a daily basis.
Of course.
It gets me all day.
It's normal.
Shout out to all my other self-doubters out there. We gonna make it.
My girl and I have crazy moments, but we walk ourselves we help each other off the ledge.
Amen, girl.
I'll be like, Courtney, don't tell him, girl. Let the crazy out right now.
She
Yeah.
literally told me that
And
yesterday.
don't tell him.
Now he's gonna be like, what was she talking about?
She'll tell you, but
I don't fully remember what that conversation was about.
I don't either. But
Oh yeah,
She felt
I
away.
remember, I remember.
Mhm.
But see, he doesn't understand why women talk so much about things. Like he's like, why do you guys talk about that stuff? Like guys don't do that.
we're so emotional. We have to. You don't
We
want all
gotta
this
flesh it
emotion. You don't want all this emotion.
That's true.
So
Yo.
we have to filter it
Work
through
it
each
out.
other.
Work it out.
So if something is then that important that it needs to go to you, it'll come to
It'll
you.
come to you.
Mhm.
But prior to that, I'm filtering. You're
so
welcome.
you're my filter.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
She's my
Thank you.
Brita. She's a Brita right now. She is my Brita.
Keep doing your job,
Wait,
yo.
we're gonna keep it Spanish. I'm the corador.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So I hold the coffee grains.
Keep
and
doing
I'm
it.
just
Keep,
letting the
keep
good
doing
coffee
the job, yo.
Yes.
Keep doing the job,
Yes,
yo.
I like that. I like that. I see what you did there. This is a
appreciate
real
that, homie.
Spanish episode today. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, episode 11.
Wow.
If you have any comments, questions, or if you want to tell us the story you want us to share, please DM us. Please email us. Our email address is thecommonwomanpodcast@gmail.com. And our Instagram page is The Common Woman Podcast, or at The Common Woman Podcast. Twitter is at Common Woman Pod.
That's the one I always get stuck with.
At Common Woman Pod. Yeah, because it's...
My Twitter game is trash.
Yo, so is mine. That's why we only have 2 followers. Sorry. We're gonna get it together. If anybody knows more about getting like more followers on Twitter, DM me on IG, because I know how to use IG. So
we also got some flyers. So if you know of any like bars or places that have like bulletin boards for us to put it up, just let us know.
Yes.
ASAP. I'll go to any borough. What's up?
Oh my God, I love that you brought that up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's why I rock with this shit right
here.
All right, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Yes.
And have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you, we'll see you next time on the Common Woman Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.